Generally, it is not illegal to house hack a multifamily house, but there are a few things that you could do that could put you into a legal bind where you might end up owing the city fines or potentially getting sued. And we don't want you to do that. So let's go ahead and get right into it. When you buy a multifamily house, you get a loan. And if you are saying that you are going to live in the house, if you paid a low down payment because you are an owner occupant, you have to actually stay in that house for the year, unless there are, explainable reasons as to why you cannot, but for the most part, you're required to stay in that building for 12 months. Now, if you decide to renege and you don't live there and you are caught, you are going to end up having to owe the feds money. They're going to fine you for relying on your mortgage application. They're going to fine you for mortgage fraud. And yeah, that's not good. So if you say you're buying a multifamily house and you're going to live in it, then you got to live in it and you got to move in within 60 days of closing on your mortgage. Let me know in the comments, where do you plan on buying your multifamily house? I am curious. I currently have a multifamily house in New York City, and I think I'm buying my next one in Indianapolis. We'll see. If you decide that you are going to run a short-term rental business in your multifamily house, before you even buy the house, you want to make sure that you check with your city laws to make sure that you can even Airbnb. Some cities restrict whether or not you can Airbnb, and some others restrict specifically Airbnb a 3 or a 4 family house. The reason behind that being, if everybody starts Airbnb, then rent's going to be expensive and there will be less accommodation for regular people. So double check with your state laws to make sure it is even legal to Airbnb a multifamily house, because the answer might be that you cannot. And you can check by putting in your name of your city plus Airbnb and Googling it. Airbnb will have a list of what the rules are in your city, but I would also recommend taking it one step further and going specifically to your city housing law site to see what they say about short-term rentals, specifically for multifamily houses. Another thing to watch out for is occupancy laws. This is specifically important if you're planning on renting out room by room and maybe you're having multiple people rent from you for each room. Each state has stipulations as to how many people can be living in X amount of square footage, or how many people that are not related to each other can be living in one apartment. So you want to make sure you look up what these laws are and you do not violate any of them. Because if one of your tenants knows the rules and you're violating them, they can easily report you, or even your neighbors if they see so many people going into this building and they know what the occupancy laws are, then they can report you as well. And again, if that gets to the city, you're going to have to pay a fine, and it is not good. If your plan is to build additional structures in your multifamily house, let's say you want to finish a basement, you're going to be tempted to just do it without getting a permit, but don't do that. If you do that and you build a basement that is illegal and the city finds out, they are going to fine you, number one, and number two, they are going to require you to rip out that whole basement. And that means that you spent tens and thousands of dollars and just literally burned it up in flames. I don't like wasting money. I don't think you do either. So make sure you get your proper permits before you build additional structures to increase your house hacking potential in your multifamily house. Now, if you want to buy a multifamily house and you're thinking that a duplex is the best plan for what you should buy, make sure you check out this video, because that may not necessarily be true when I show you exactly why here. I'll see you there.